Thanks, Sean. First question for Connor here. Connor, there was a lot of talk the last couple of days about it being a real tight game. When things tighten up the way it did, what's the right way to play in that environment and to still try and be creative, but at the same time, simplify in certain ways as well for a skill guy like you?
Yeah, I think they were kind of waiting for our mistake. So obviously, first and foremost, you don't want to give them that mistake. You don't want to turn pucks over. But you still have to make plays and be creative and play your game. So just continuing to play with the puck and get more pucks at the net, I think will help as well.
Connor, was there anything you picked out in the last day or so upon further review, or after you kind of reflect on it for a day? Did you have any other thoughts about the way things went, and anything strike you kind of the day after?
No, not necessarily. I think how the game felt out there was kind of how it showed up on video, and they played a tight game. They didn't give up any odd man rushes. They didn't turn many pucks over. They kept their third guy high and limited our, I guess, transition game. I think in zone there's things we can do better and little adjustments we can make that will allow us to maybe sustain a little bit more in there and give us chances off that end zone play.
Bob Stauffer, 630 Chad.
Morning, gentlemen. I have one for Connor and one for Josh. Connor, we'll start with you. All season long, Dave Tippett's maintained a real calm, present, even-keeled. And how important is it at this time of the season not to allow a negative end result take away from maybe the process and the structure that you guys played with, and just continue to sort of stay in that even keel as you prepare game to game?
Yeah, I mean, Tip's done a great job of that. I think, there's no reason to panic. This is obviously a big game for us tonight. Chance to even the series and move on to Winnipeg all tied up. So it's a big opportunity for our group tonight.
And Josh, for you, you've never needed an invitation to hit. They say that in the playoffs, everybody hits. But is that something that can become infectious for a team at this time of the year, where you landed a pretty substantial hit in game one that kind of changed the momentum of it? That really is part of it at this time of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good identity of our team too. We play hard. We got a lot of big bodies and guys that like to hit. But I think when you get a big hit early on like that, it's definitely a big momentum change. So to keep that up throughout this series, it's definitely something that I'll be looking forward to doing.
Thank you.
Derek Van Diest, Post Media.
Hi, Connor. This question's for you. I just wanted to ask you about the John Tavares incident last night. I just thought, what did you think of it, and how tough is it for a player to come back and keep playing after something like that? Because it was a pretty scary incident.
Yeah, obviously thinking about him and his whole family and everyone close to him. It's obviously a very scary incident, and it's a humbling reminder that this game is fast and things can go wrong out there. I think we're obviously all trying to play hard and trying to compete for what something everyone's dreamed of doing, and that's winning a cup. And but at the end of the day, there's still players out there, still humans out there, and guys with families, and it's a lot more than that. So obviously scary to see, and you just hope he's doing okay.
Thanks. And Josh, for you, just want to ask you about, they talk a lot about in the playoffs how the top two lines sometimes cancel each other, and it's up to the third and fourth lines to kind of outplay the other third and fourth lines. Do you guys get a sense of that, and how important is that in the playoffs? Yeah,
obviously it's really important. Our top two lines have done a tremendous job so far throughout the entire year. Put us in a good position. But at the same time, they have a huge workload. So for our third and fourth line to be able to chip in when we do, and when we can, I think it's obviously really important. And I think just for us, we got to get more pucks to the net and get in front of them. And then, when our top two lines are out there, we just let them do what they do, create space, create chances. So it'll be a good one tonight.
Rob Kichkowski, Post Media.
I went for Connor here. we all saw the atmosphere of the playoff games in the other buildings, and we all know what Oiler fans are like at this time of year. I'm just wondering what it was like, the vibe for you guys, the atmosphere in an empty building in Game 1.
Yeah, I think it was. It's a little bit different, obviously. Both teams sat around for almost a week and watched these crazy playoff games with fans back in the building and fans going nuts. And obviously we get out there and there's no one out there, so it's can be a bit of a letdown. I think both teams maybe felt that early on. So, but it's something we're used to now at this point. It's unfortunate, but we certainly miss our fans. We feel their support and are still playing hard for them, and are thinking about them as we move forward here.
Is this something that almost impacts the way the game is played? I mean, the Oilers are a team, like all teams, like to feed off the energy and that adrenaline boost that isn't quite there after, a hit or a close call or something like that. Does it actually impact the way the game is played?
I think it can, but at this point, we've been doing this for, well over a year now. So I think, everyone knows what to expect. Everyone knows how things go out there with no fans, and it's up to yourself and your group to generate its own energy.
Terry Jones, Post Media.
Connor, you played a game of this series and you watched the game in Toronto. Can you articulate the appreciation you have now of how special it is to be involved in these, once in a lifetime Canadian Division playoffs, especially growing up in the Toronto area and having been well schooled in Oilers history?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone feels fortunate to be able to play to play in this division. I think it's especially as a Canadian kid, it's pretty special to be able to play in an all Canadian division and know that those type of rivalries and matchups are what we've been watching for 56 games now and continue into the playoffs. So as a Toronto kid, see the Habs and the Leafs go at it. It's pretty cool, and obviously as an Oiler now, and the long-standing history between the Oilers and the Jets, it's it's great to see, and it's great for Canadian hockey.
Now, you haven't exactly been out and about, but do you get any sense of any playoff atmosphere outside of the rink there? And is there any kind of comparison to last year when basically all you did was walk across the catwalk?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more of a normal experience this year. Obviously, the bubble is hopefully a once-in-a-lifetime experience and something we'll never have to go back to. But not saying that it was a bad thing, but it just, obviously we want the world to go back to normal. But, you can definitely get a little sense, that people are excited. There's a group that kind of gathers outside before games when we're kind of all driving in, that they got their flags and stuff going. So, we obviously really appreciate their support.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
A couple of things. One for Connor. How did you think Jesse played in his first playoff game in Game 1?
Yeah, I thought Jesse was good. He played hard like he always does, and skated and made a couple plays with the puck, and obviously banged one in. So I thought he was good and something he can for sure build off of.
And for Josh, a lot of players hit in this league, but you said that you looked like you tried to skate through the guy you're trying to hit. Is that something your dad taught you, or how does a player of your size hit as hard as you do?
Yeah, I think it's just something I've grown up with. When you got the opportunity to hit somebody, I hit them hard, and it's just something I've grew up with all my life, I guess. Jason
Gregor, TSN 1260.
This is for both of you guys to answer. You have different roles on the team. Dave Tippett mentioned he felt it was a really cautious game overall. Defensively, you guys didn't give up much, but how do you ensure that you're not cautious in your transition and your offensive approach tonight?
I don't know if you'd necessarily say it was a cautious game. I think it was a defensively minded game. You look at the playoffs, most games have been decided by one goal or in overtime. And I think that's just something that both teams, took into account. And I think things will open up a little bit more, but at the same time, both teams are playing well defensively, so we just got to keep chipping in and, hope for the best offensively.
Yeah, I guess just to follow Arch there, I think he said a lot of good things, but I think both sides, recognize the other one's offensive ability. There's been lots of talk about our offensive ability, but I think the Jets, they have some of the best forwards and the deepest forwards probably around the league. So, obviously we have to be very aware and responsible with the puck and defend hard and do all the things that they're talking about doing as well. So both teams have lots of respect for the other one's offensive ability, and you're seeing that, or you saw that in game one.